मंथ करना है, right? So that is the first transaction, wherein the marketing period you will not get the marketing period. आज के आज मुझे कर देना है, within a 2 months or 1 month or 2 week I need the money. So this kind of first transaction, that is the liquidation value. So before taking any basis of value, you should disclose which premise of value is assumed. You should assume the premise of value, whether it is orderly liquidation or first transaction. But this is the liquidation value. Now the other basis of value. The 6 basis of value defined by IVS is explained. Now IVS is also not defined but explaining the other basis of value, that is the fair value as per the International Financial Reporting Standard IFRS 13 defines that fair value as the price that would be received to sell an asset or paid to transfer a liability in an orderly transaction between market participants at a measurement date. Measurement date, that is date of valuation. Similar line, market value, fair market value as per OECD they have given. Then fair market value as per the tax authority of US. What they are saying, the fair market value is the price at which the property would change hands between a willing buyer and willing seller. However, all the definition of other basis of value is more or less similar to the market value as per the IVS. Here we can incorporate the fair value as per Ind AS 113 Companies Act. We can also incorporate the fair value as per the IBC, liquidation value basis as per the IBC. So these are the other basis of value which are means IVS is not defining for that. Now next, we already discussed this market basis of valuation, but basis of valuation jitna important है, same line the premise of value is also important. I mean, on which premise you are estimating the market value or any market trend, means there should be some premise. You should assume some premise to carry out any valuation. So as per IVS, they are given some premise of value like highest and best premise of value, current or existing use premise of value, then orderly liquidation premise of value, and forced sell premise of value. We'll go one by one for the understanding of each premise. Highest and best use. I explained na, so what is the highest and best use? Highest and best use is the use from a participant perspective that would produce the highest value for an asset. Means the valuer has to assume when if you are adopting the market value basis on valuation, then the premise of value should be highest and best use, because market value itself is saying about the highest and best use. So valuer has to estimate the market value based on the considering the highest and best use of the asset. So valuer has to think in perspective of the market participant, not as per the our client. Whatever the how the other market participant will think about this asset, that should be considered. The use must be physically possible. हाँ, market perspective से आपने सोच लिया, but it should be physically possible. That highest and best use, if highest and best use something different than the current existing use, then you should think about its applicability. Means it should be physically possible, financially feasible, and legally permissible or allowed. So you should think on that perspective as well. That is the use for an asset may be its current or existing use when it is being used optimally. highest and best use, I explained highest and best use may be current or existing use or may be different. Different है तो क्या है, तो वो लेने से पहले you need to think about the its applicability, means its possibility to apply that alternate highest and best use. The determination of the highest and best use involves consideration of the following thing. That is, I said, that is legally permissible. Means if highest and best use is something different than existing use, then you need to ask the question yourself. What use are legally, whatever the use you are thinking that legally permitted at the site, and what does the zoning or general plan regulation allow on the site? Valuer must consider what restriction exist now. If it is not legally permissible, then no need to think about the highest and best use, alternate use. Then second thing, physically possible. The next step is to determine if the site, whatever the site is there, if the residential is there, and you think about the highest and best will be a commercial. The whether the size is permitting, means physically possible to establish commercial thing over there, then and then you can go ahead with that highest and best use. Third is the financial feasible. Legally permissible, yes. Then physically possible, yes. Then you need to think about the financially feasible. अगर रेसिडेंशियल है, आपने फाइनल कॉमर्शियली उसको हाईएस्ट एंड बेस्ट यूज बोल दिया, देन यू नीड टू चेक इन दी लोकेलिटी और रीजन वेदर इट इज आसपास का मार्केट कॉमर्शियली डेवलप है, तो कॉमर्शियल वहां पे एस्टेब्लिश हो सकता है, देन एंड देन आई कैन गेट द बायर ऑफ दैट कॉमर्शियल थिंग. अदरवाइज मैं पूरा रेसिडेंशियल ही और कॉमर्शियल भले बन सकता है, पर मैं एस्टेब्लिश करके कॉमर्शियल कोई मिलेगा ही नहीं, then it's not financially feasible. Then you should not think about the alternate use is the highest and best use. So these are the three parameters you need to think when your highest and best use different than the current and existing use. Let's take an example. It is already discussed. A residential plotting scheme is one of the options that is physically possible and legally